Jeff, with the man of peace, the way you were talking is you guys would go in with a pretty generic question, build a quick relationship, and really just invite yourself or ask them if you could have a Bible study in that house. How has that went in time? I mean, is there a lot of rejection in that? Of course, but what does the transition in the conversation look like when you're really getting into people's houses?
Um, I think one is just persistence. You know, I mean, some of it is one in some of those areas, like some areas like we have no work, so we go in and we just prayer walk, and it might take 3 months. We might prayer walk, and people start recognizing us, and we're building some trust, and we've done some things in the community, and then and that does help inviting us in, getting ourselves invited into homes. But really, the transition is we share our story, and just like you guys are creating a hook for the two kingdoms there, we're sort of creating a hook and going, can we come to your house and do a Bible? I mean, our big hook is we're not inviting you to church, we're inviting you to Jesus. And hey, can we come to your house and do a Bible study? Or hey, can we meet at Starbucks? Or hey, can we meet at Bojangles? But we also do that off the Walmart line. I got into a house, I was at a football camp one day with my son, shared my story. Guy said, hey man, I'd like you to disciple me. A couple of weeks later, I was discipling him. About 2 months later, he came to Christ. I met a guy a while ago, Abraham, a Hispanic guy from Guatemala. Shared my story, shared a full-blown guy. I got to share for about 2 hours with the guy, but he was not going to receive Christ, but he was open to talk about spiritual things. And so I just forced myself into his home. And one of the things that Steve Smith says in the book, and it's a book about the book, but in the scriptures, a lot of the people that took hold of the kingdom took it by force. And so we're fairly forceful of trying to get into homes, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
a woman came up behind Jesus and grabbed a hold of his garment. Jesus went to Nicodemus, said, I'm coming to your house. We don't know what transaction with Matthew, but he goes to the house. We don't know what happened with Peter's mother-in-law's house, but he's in the house. There's the man who comes over and wants his child, one of his servants healed, and says, Jesus, listen, you don't have to come. You just speak the word. I know it'll be done. And so when you think about some of the people that God used, the Samaritan woman, she's pretty in your face, got a silver tongue, the demoniac. So there's a few persons apiece that smell like Yankee candles and potpourri. Cornelius, he's Yankee candles and potpourri. He's a soldier, and some type of leader in that level. But that's the closest you get to Yankee candles and potpourri. The rest of the house of peace, they stink like hell and smell like cigarettes and beer. And so when we think of person of peace or man of peace, don't think of Yankee candles and potpourri, but also think about men and women who took the kingdom by force. And I don't know if that makes sense, but
Absolutely.
but we are praying that way, and we are being somewhat forceful, culturally inappropriate, some people might say. Yeah, we're trying to get in your door. Even if I'm in Starbucks, this guy I was talking about that we led to Christ, we kept trying to work our way to his house. It took 6 or 8 weeks, but we got in his house after 6 or 8 weeks. But I brought it up every week. Man, we come to your house and do the Bible study, be a little more intimate. We won't have people bugging us. But I'm trying to get in his house because I want to see what's going on so I know how to disciple him.
Got it.
I want to see what he's watching on TV. I want to see what he's drinking. I want to see what he's eating. I want to see what his home life's like. I want to see how he treats his family. But that's going to give me clues in discipleship. And plus, I want to reach the whole family. I don't want to grab a grape. I want to grab a bunch of grapes. So we emphasize not necessarily man of peace, but essentially household of peace.